the smoke kind of died down a little bit for the January 6th thing. But again, you lost your job. So now you're an attorney who's got to go out there and find some stuff to deal with. And what did you get involved with doing after all of that melee?
Well, ironically, on January 12th, the same day that the FBI paid me a visit that morning, I got a call from an attorney named Kelly Sorrell, who's attorney in Texas, and she told me about a case she was working on with some people about the election, and kind of described a little bit of the theory to me and asked me if I was willing to work on it. Said that they didn't have anybody who is licensed in federal court. Asked me if I was licensed. I said yes. I would take a look at it. I mean, I did say, I said, well, I got a visit from the FBI today, so I'm not really sure I want to make myself a bigger target than I already am. But I told her I would think about it and pray about it, and almost immediately, I don't know. I just felt if there was something that I could do, with my position as a lawyer to make what went wrong with the 2020 election right, I had to do it. I didn't feel like I had a choice. So I had applied for some other jobs. You have to when you're on unemployment, which I collected for a little bit. Yeah. But I was pretty sure I wasn't going to find anything. I must have sent out 80 applications to law firms, and the ones that gave me a first round interview, I was like, just so you know, there's a situation you might want to be aware of, and they Google me. They're like, oh wow, So so I was trying to make it on my own, and this lawsuit came across my desk, and I felt like it was my duty to work on it. And I did nothing for the next 6 months other than work on that election lawsuit, try to make it work. It was a huge lawsuit. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get really the funding we needed, and just the other attorneys to come in to help with it. And, it cost me a lot. I had to sell my house. I had no income essentially for about 6 months, and now they're trying to disbar me over at a group of Democrats. So
see, they're coming at you hard right now with this disbarment thing, and that's just a hack job.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I mean, what is their angle on that?
Their angle is that it's called the 65 Project. It's described by, there's a great Axios article by Lachlan Markey on this, which he actually interviewed me for the article. And they're trying to disbar every single attorney that brought a 2020 election lawsuit challenge. And their grounds are, the 65 Project it's a bipartisan organization. That's what they call themselves. And their goal is to protect democracy from lawyers like me who abuse the legal process to destroy democracy.
Right.
And it's just, the whole thing is nonsensical, because I'm just like, okay, which is more conducive to a robust democracy? Having lawyers that will represent citizens that feel like they've been aggrieved through the election process, and having the right to have a court look at that. That's a constitutional right to bring your grievances before the government. Which is better for democracy, to let people do that and have a court look at it, or to not allow them to do that?
Yeah.
Last time I checked, the Democrats' main talking point that there was no fraud in the 2020 election is that all 65 of these lawsuits got overturned. So, they would not have a talking point, and more people would be wondering about the 2020 election, not less. So it's completely nonsensical.
Make sure your freedom stays free in the echo chamber. Don't let anybody ever challenge anything that's going on out there. Exactly. You become an enemy of the state.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is what they do. I pointed out in my response, which I'm about to send into the Texas bar. This is what they do in communist dictatorships. They have to crush the opposition. Yeah. If you really believed in democracy, you would be fine with people bringing election challenges in courts. That's what the court's for. But because I'm doing that, I'm, persona non grata. I'm public enemy number one. I need to have my law license stripped, which is just preposterous.
The media, education, and the courts, if you control those three things, you control the whole society, right? We've by a very thin thread held on to the courts to some degree, but still we've got judicial tyranny, educational tyranny. We've got on and on. My people have heard me say it over and over again, but I keep saying it because I want them to get it. I want them to get it. I want them to get it. This is that three chord strand that is just being snapped off piece by piece, and you're a perfect example of that.